Okay, so we have the paint protection film back rolled onto the hood. As you can see, the film is laying down nice and flat. This can be a super easy hood to install. Just going to be very time consuming given the fact that it's going to be a two-part hood. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take and get our tack solution underneath the film, and we're just going to squeegee everything down to the fender. Now, I'm just going to keep talking while I go around to the other side and do the same thing. I'm just going to pull on the film just a little bit so there's just a tad bit of tension. That's good. Okay, now we're over here at the front of the hood. You can see we got some fingers over here, and we have the hood propped open. So I'm not going to be able to tack this down to the hood. So what I'm going to have to do is lift the film up, get my tack solution on the film, underneath the film I should say. I'm going to pull down right over here so these fingers start to disappear. Just going to hold that down. And I'm going to squeegee a line right down the middle, just like so. That's going to be good. Now what we can do is we can start working on each side individually. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a scissor and I'm gonna trim out a bunch of this PPF in the middle of the hood. Now, normally I would just use a knife, but given the fact we're dealing with carbon fiber here, I don't wanna run the risk of potentially scratching the film or scratching the carbon underneath. So as you can see, I'm up nice and high. I'm not touching the film anywhere, or I'm not touching the carbon anywhere, so I'm going to go around to the passenger side and finish this off. There we go. I can remove that. Like I said, normally I would like to use a knife to do these things, but given the fact we're dealing with carbon fiber, I don't want to run the risk of anything potentially happening. Okay, now you can see PPF is laying relatively flat. We have almost no fingers. What I'm going to do now is just massage the air pockets out from underneath the film. This is going to allow the film to lay down perfectly without issue. So I'm going to take my squeegee now, lifting up the back corner, spraying my tack solution behind the film there. And I'm just going to take and squeegee down along that back edge. I'm going to come around the back edge and squeegee the film down between the centerpiece, the carbon piece, and the rest of the hood. Now, I can come along over here like this, just overlapping squeegee strokes. I can take and squeegee all this solution down and out the middle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my scissor. I'm going to pull the film back right here. And I'm going to cut the majority of this excess PPF off. Probably wondering why I didn't do a pre-cut template, where I very easily could have. I hate doing pre-cut templates. I'll just say that on full hoods. Not a fan unless it's a Tesla that's super, super easy. Now, or I shouldn't say hate. Hate's a strong word. I have a strong dislike for pre-cut templates. Now I'm gonna lift the film up And I'm gonna flush the slip solution out from behind the film. And I'm gonna lock these edges down. Now we're gonna come back to the hood, back of the hood here, flush some of the tack or the slip solution out over there. Now, everything else over here, I'll deal with that once we're done the passenger side. So we'll go over to the passenger side and do that. All right, so now we're over here on the passenger side. I'm gonna do the same thing, lift the film up over here, get my tack solution underneath the film. I'm gonna pull it tight. I'm gonna squeegee that all down there. That's perfect. Now I'm just gonna overlap squeegee strokes as I pull all of that slip solution out towards the middle. Lift the PPF up over here. Now I'm gonna go get my scissor. I'm gonna finish trimming everything else off. Never used a scissor to do this before, and I think I might permanently switch over to using a scissor for this type of stuff. I just feel like I have far better control than using a utility knife. Always learning something with this craft called paint protection film. Now I'm going to pull the film back here. Got a bunch of tack solution underneath the film, and we're just going to start squeegeeing everything down at an angle. We have one piece of contamination there. We got that out. There we go. That is good. Now we'll finish off this corner right here. There we go. Now we're gonna grab a rag or a drying towel and we're gonna dry the hood off. Make sure there's no dust or debris or any other contamination that's underneath the film. And everything's looking pretty good. That is perfect. Okay, now we're gonna take and deal with all this excess over here. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull out the utility knife and I'm just gonna pop it out. Now, I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna cut the majority of this excess film off. I'm gonna leave just enough that I can wrap the inside of that properly. So here I'm being very careful, making sure to pull the film up, away from the vehicle. There we go. Now we're gonna go around passenger side. We're gonna do the exact same thing. Now I'm gonna start over here by the ZL1 badge. Just gonna pop that blade through the film. Can't stress enough how much you wanna be careful that your knife and your blade are nowhere near the hood. There we go. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the film back and we're gonna flush it out with our tack solution. That's good. Perfect. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, now that I got my slip solution flushed out with my tack solution, I'm gonna start right over here on this edge. I'm gonna have my squeegee angled downwards. And I'm just gonna go around, squeegee everything down nicely. Just making sure I'm overlapping my squeegee strokes to make sure that there's no slip solution or any other solution being left behind. Now I'm just gonna do some insurance passes with my squeegee over that area. There we go, that's good. All right, now we're gonna start back here and I'm gonna take and squeegee everything down. There we go. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this dry out a bit. I'm gonna heat it up, get that down, and then we can do the centerpiece. All right, so we've got the PPF in place over top of the carbon fiber on the hood here. So now it's time to get installing. We've got a whole bunch of slip solution underneath the film. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up the pre-cut template with the ZL1 badge over here. So I'm just taking and spraying some tack solution underneath the film, right where the badge is supposed to be, or where it lines up. There we go. Okay, that is perfect. I got this lined up right here. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up the back edge right over here. Very minimal stretch needed to get that lined up. Okay, there we go, that's good. Now we're gonna go do the passenger side. So you guys will have a much better angle on this side than the driver's side. So I'm just pulling the film back, getting tack solution right there. Now, just stretching that in place. There we go, that is good. Perfect. Now, same thing I did on the driver's side. We're gonna tack this in place right here. Very, very minimal stretch needed to get the film into place, which is good. Now, as you can see, film's laying flat. All I'm gonna do is just massage the big air bubbles out. Now, I'm just gonna take and squeegee along the back edge. And then I'm gonna pull a line right down the middle with the squeegee. Start pulling all this solution out the front. Now, as you can see, we do have some fingers in the middle of the hood that are gonna need to be dealt with. So I'm gonna pull the film up, spray my tack solution underneath the film, and then I'm just gonna give the film a very slight stretch. Get that down. Now these fingers are gonna become a whole lot more manageable. And we have ourselves a piece of contamination right here, which I'm just gonna pop up. Got that out. Now I'm gonna have to respray that with slip solution, because as you can see, that film was quite dry underneath there. True spray keg system, that is the best thing for installing PPF. If you're a PPF installer, you should totally look at investing in one of these. Link to that product is in the description of this video. And if you want, maybe reach out to them, see if they can hook you up with some kind of a discount. Say Eric from Drive Protected sent you. So before I continue forward, I'm going to deal with these fingers here along the back edge of the hood. Just going to squeegee these down side to side at an angle, just to make sure that those fingers are not going to pop back up. Now I can start pulling all of this solution down. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of squeegeeing these fingers down at the right angle. Which it's easier said than done, I'm aware. I'm actually going to pop them up and get a little bit of tack solution underneath the film, because the tack solution, that's going to help me with making sure that these fingers, when they go down, they're gonna stay down and not pop back up. There we go, that's good. Now we're gonna finish off this area right over here. So I'm gonna pull our film back, spray my tack solution underneath the film. I'm gonna squeegee sideways along this body line right here. Take those fingers and make them disappear just by going side to side with the squeegee. And there we go. That right there. Oh, we gotta finish this back corner off. That right there is how you install paint protection film on the full hood of a Camaro ZL1. Two-piece hood with the carbon fiber in the middle. And I would say this installation went quite well. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more paint protection film content.